Welcome to Design Diary, the podcast where you get to look inside my board game design notebook as well as what's going on inside my head. We look at a new word each day from the sense of mechanics, tone, theme, or inspiration for a full game. Today's word is
Refection. Refreshment of mind, spirit, or body, especially nourishment. The taking of refreshment. Food and drink together. Repast. I don't know the term repast, so it's just something taken as food or meal, the act or time of taking food. Okay, so eating and drinking and refreshing yourself. Oh, so here's my non-notebook once again. My notebook it's not MIA. I know exactly where it is. It's just not where it is when I need it, when I'm writing these. But here we go. And I've been bringing it around with me, and the problem is it's not making it back into here. Just I'm driving around all day with this new little part-time thing. Anyway, here we go. Refreshment of mind, spirit, or body, especially nourishment. My initial thoughts, and I'm going through this new format, initial thoughts, mechanics, themes, and then my final thoughts, if anybody wants to follow those. I don't know if they help, but they do help me. It helps me get my initial burst out, then fine-tune it a little bit for mechanics and themes, and then kind of revisit and see if I had any larger ideas that were worth pursuing. Initial thoughts. My first thought was the fairy fountains in Zelda. You know, when you go into the little caves and then I can't do this. I can't remember the sound, but I know that it's one of those sounds that just feels great because you know what you're getting. You're refreshing your health. All your little hearts are going to fill back up or whatever. To me, that is exactly what this is. It's not just that you're refreshing the health, though. It's a calm area where nothing can do you any harm. You're in there. It's just about the moment. It's just about healing yourself. It's safe, and it's just very calm. And I wrote a Zen area with no distractions. That it just feels very, very much right. That was my initial thought, and that kind of rides through a lot of this. But for mechanics, refection to me would mean, for example, a reshuffle in a game where your cards are your resources. So I'm using up all my resources, and I only have what's in the deck or what's in my hand. But if I need more, if being out of cards is definitely a problem, I want that reshuffle. So the reshuffle could be it. A worker placement game has the same kind of issue where you place all your workers out, and eventually you need to get them back, so you can place them again, because without them you're stuck. So to me, that's another refreshing, re-nourishing of sorts. To make it a little more than just a reset, and to really hit that calm Zen side of things, I feel like while you're doing this reshuffling or resetting your meeples or whatever it is in the your workers, it should be a moment where you can plan and focus, and not just like a moment like in like a place where I'm pulling them back and I can think. I think it's actually like a part of the game where now it's your chance to plan things. Maybe it's a turn where you might sit out and you can set yourself up, reset things. Or maybe you're unable to be affected by others during this time, and maybe you can call certain areas where, this area is like safe, or, I'm claiming this to be my Zen zone. That's kind of where I sat with this. But you want to be in a personal bubble and protected temporarily, so you can just really just have that moment of quiet calm. So themes. I wrote running a spa. That's way too real life of a theme for me. I feel like real life themes are just, I don't love them because you just can't escape in them, and I want to play games to escape. The Zelda fountain is essentially a fantasy spa. So to me, that's so much better. But running that, the the ins and outs of doing a day job is no fun. Going to a spa as a theme, it's still like, no, it's too realistic for me. So I wrote mind, spirit, and body in this area, just because those three things being both opposing forces and resources that you need could be interesting. Certain things are going to pull from your mind to give to your spirit. Certain things there could be some sort of rock, paper, scissors thing in there. And this is not even close to theme, but this is just where I wrote it in my notes. But the balance of just the theme would be just the balance of your soul, I guess. Just characters with souls that are visible. I mean, I guess it could be a very futuristic game where you can just, I was going to say judge somebody, but you can just see somebody's soul level, their soul and all their stats. Like, it's almost just like a futuristic medicine style game, or like doctor style game, or even something a little more sinister or out there like Minority Report with the precogs and things like that. But to get into my final thoughts, because the theme sort of blended into that, I thought about a hand management game where you want as much balance as possible at the end of every turn. So you're evaluated at the end of each turn for mind, spirit, and body. And your balance is if one of them's higher than the others. And I was trying to think of a really neat number for this, like your hand size. So if your hand size is 5, that means you are not going to have an even amount of all three, no matter what. Unless each card has a variable, number on it and things like that, which is great, and it adds to the complexity. But with a 3-card hand, you have to go heavily in some areas, which might be the way the cards work. So, for example, I can play 2 mind cards, which allows me some great, intelligent actions or something like that. And then I could play 2 spirit cards, which allow me to, be at one with myself and my surroundings and things like that. But I only play 1 body card, which means, my health is not up to full speed or something along those lines. But that was just the cards that I played, and then they each have numbers on them, which could be the balance. So because I only played 2 mind cards, or because I only played 1 body card, it might be a high numbered value that does help me in my balance. So maybe the actions are stronger on a single card or weaker on 2 cards, or I have no idea. I just thought this great, like, end of the turn, evaluate your mind, spirit, and your body. See how close you are to balance, to zen. And then you play those cards, and then the next turn you do your thing, and then eventually you need to refresh. And maybe refresh one at a time. Maybe refresh your mind, then your spirit, then your body, or in whatever order you want. And that gets shuffled in, and it kind of messes with your order of things. I don't know. I think there's some neat... I love like a little 3... like rock, paper, scissors, or as our Australian friends say, paper, scissors, rock, I believe, which was a big debate on Facebook recently. But mind, spirit, and body kind of running the show for me on this. And that Zelda cave, like, to me, that is perfection. That I will never forget the feeling going into those caves, the feeling of getting refreshed, and just getting out of the craziness just for a minute, and just refreshing, hearing that cool music, seeing the fairy, and then going back at it. So let me know what you have. This is a cool word, and there are more cool words coming this week. I can assure you, it's a cool week, and the weekend words are even cooler. There's a word coming up that I'm really excited about, and I will not be designing anything for it. So I'm curious to see what our special guest will have. Okay, thanks everybody. We'll see you. Bye.